Well, I have a good friend by the name of Richard Howell, and Richard knows that I've been to Africa numerous times, and he has never been. So he approached me at the Dallas Safari Club show and told me that he wanted to fulfill a lifelong dream and go to Africa. So he and I put plans together so that we could go to Africa together that July. Well, once Richard and I made our plans and decided when we wanted to go to Africa, I immediately took him over to Christo's booth. And Christo is the owner of Mabula Pro Safaris. And I've hunted with Christo many, many times. And every time I've been with Christo, it has been a 5-star experience. Well, after 2 very long days of traveling, we finally arrived in Africa. And we stayed at a local B&B close to the airport called Africa Sky. I've stayed there many, many times. It is a 5-star establishment with great food and great people. Well, we were up very early the next morning and we could not wait to get to the camp. This particular day, we were heading to Christo's camp that's located in the Kalahari. Well, we've just arrived in the Kalahari, and this is a very sandy environment, and a lot of game really thrive here, native game that are just huge. So we've only got a couple hours left, so we're really just going to go for a drive for a little while. But if something nice pops up, my friend Richard will have his trigger finger ready. Let's go. We were driving around, we came across a huge African tornado of wildebeest.
Those things are crazy. Once they spot you, they go crazy.
Well, unfortunately, Richard was not able to connect on his first day of the safari, but we were very happy to get in, take a rest, have a really nice dinner, and then be ready to go again the next morning. Well, the next morning at breakfast, Richard was still excited about those black wildebeest. So the #1 priority of the day was to find Richard a black wildebeest. Well, they had covered a lot of ground that day, and they eventually did spot some black wildebeest in a dry pan, and boy, was Richard in for the surprise of a lifetime.
So, Mr. Richard, we spotted from the vehicle some black wildebeest down here in a dry pan. We're going to go on quickly and do a little bit of a stalk and see if we have a good shooter in there. And let's go. Good luck. Good shooting.
Thank you.
What a shot. What a shot. What a perfect shot. Reload for me. Oh, he's going down. That's what I call a shot. Oh, he's going. He's going. Sir, reload for me. Pick up that stick. Daar's 'n groot springbok. There's a big springbok. Stand up, stand up, stand up. Come, 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 come. Big springbok. Ready? And right behind the shoulder. Oh! That's shooting. That's shooting. How did that feel?
Great.
See, that's a rush, isn't it? When you know you hit him perfectly, when you take your time.
Yeah.
Springbuck is down. That was cool. 2 down. 2 for 2.
Wow, Richard was very excited about that hunt. Not only did he get his first animal in Africa, it was a double.
Hey guys, we're in the Kalahari Desert with Mabula Pro Safaris and this beautiful black wildebeest laying in front of us. Just beautiful old bosses, worn off horns, just a beautiful, beautiful trophy. Mr. Richard took him 1 shot, 1 kill. He probably ran 100 yards, right in the back in this open pen. And we spotted them from the back of the truck, a big herd. And we crawled on our knees, stalked through the brush, stalked through the thorns, and finally got an open shot at this beautiful bull. Sat Mr. Richard down on his butt. He took his shot, had 1 shot, 1 kill, a beautiful shot. And as he was running away and we saw him going down, I spotted this beautiful, beautiful springbuck, common springbuck, just an amazing trophy. And we rushed around the brush to get a perfect shot, a broadside shot, and wham! And he took a perfect shot. So let's go take a look at your big springbuck. In front of us is lying this beautiful springbuck. It's actually a very funny story. We stalked up to this dry pan where we spotted some black wildebeest, a big herd of black wildebeest from the vehicle. He took the shot on this beautiful black wildebeest, and when he went down, I saw this beautiful springbuck standing there. It's a once in a lifetime springbuck. And he was standing there, and I rushed Mr. Richard around, and we calmed down, and he took this perfect shot. 1 shot, 1 kill. Just beautiful. Congratulations, sir.
Thank you very much.
Well, for Richard's crocodile hunt, we had to travel a pretty good distance to one of Christo's other properties. And so we were very lucky that we were able to do it in style. We loaded up in the King Air and headed to crocodile country. It was late in the day when we arrived at camp, so we wanted to check the gun just to make sure that it was still on after the flight. Anytime you hunt a crocodile, you know your target's going to be extremely small, so you need to make sure your gun is pinpoint accurate. Well, it's early morning and Richard is hunting a croc this week, and the trackers have found a couple crocs that had been hanging in this one area back behind us in a low spot where there's water. And we're going to go down there and check that out and see if they're still there. If they're still there, we'll wait till later in the day when the sun is up pretty high and it's nice and warm and they come out the sun, and we'll go up there and see if maybe Richard can get a shot. But good chance they're still going to be there, so let's go look. Well, we had checked one particular pan, and there were some crocs in there, and there looked to be a really big croc that Christo said would definitely be a shooter for Richard, but unfortunately it was still in the water. So we were going to come back later in the day, and hopefully the crocodile will come out the sun on the bank. Well, we headed back to the water in the heat of the day, and just as we had hoped, there were some crocs on the bank, and luckily for us, one of them was the big shooter that Richard was after. Well, once we knew the crocs were out on the bank, we knew we had to come up with a very cautious plan to get into shooting range. There's a lot of high grass around all the water sources, and those crocs can hide very well, and despite their size, they are extremely quick on land.
Shoot him again, right behind the smile.
Well, Richard was able to put a couple good shots in the croc, and the croc was trying to get back in the water, and luckily our PH was able to get it by the tail before it got completely in the water. And of course, it's very heavy. Even though the crocodile is dead, it's still very heavy, and we needed a truck to drag it out of the water.
Get it higher up. That's not come out there.
That's not going to come out. Turn that one, please. Yeah, turn it on.
Okay, you make the call.
Whoa!
Well, when it was all said and done, Richard had a 14-foot crocodile and the trophy of a lifetime to take back home.
Ready. Hey guys, we're back here in Limpopo province with Mabula Pro Safaris, and once again Mr. Richard's success in taking a big croc. We did some scouting before, and a couple of days before, and the scouts came back yesterday late afternoon, and they found 3 crocs that moved up from a river into a big dam here, and we stalked them up this morning early, and we could see some crocs, 2 crocs out of the 3, and we decided let's come back later because they were still in the water. So around 10 o'clock we came back and started stalking up to these crocs, and we did some spotting, and we found that all 3 of them were out, and this one was probably the best shot we could have, and also one of the biggest. And Mr. Richard did an absolute great shot on it, and we took him down. We had some excitement pulling him out though, but it was a good shot. Congratulations, sir. Thank you very much.